You can take the Jews out of Egypt, but you can't take Egypt out of the Jews. My name is Arlette Gotkin. I was born Arlette Cohen in Alexandria, Egypt during the war, 1940. I remember a very happy childhood. My personal life revolved around my school, going to the beach. We had a cabin in Stanley Bay, and then when I became a teenager, parties. A picture of one of those parties, rock and roll, cha-cha-cha, rumba. This is a picture of my class. This one was taken in Egypt, my parents, my sister and myself. This is a chocolate box that my mother kept on her dressing table in Alexandria in Egypt. Very dear souvenirs and calendar dates, important calendar dates in Arabic. A lock of hair of mine, probably some jasmine that my father offered to her when they were engaged. And that is a photo of me, 19, when I was about 10. We had very good relationship with the local population. But talking about Passover, Pesach, it was very, very weird because to me, as a child, as a very young child, I was always wondering why we had to thank God for taking us out from Egypt while we were in Egypt. And I remember vaguely when the State of Israel was formed, the United Nations, it became very difficult for the Jewish people. It was very, very, very dangerous to utter the word Israel, and you did not want to be labeled a Zionist because you were just put in prison. The biggest insult that you could give somebody was to call him, some people who had a row, in the street, they used to say, Sayuni. Say, I'm not a Sayuni. Yes, you are a Sayuni. A few people started to leave Egypt in 48, I think, but the massive exodus was in 56. I left Egypt in 1957 after the Suez War. We were not actually expelled. It was a sort of constructive expulsion, indirectly forced to leave, because my father was auditor in the Ottoman Bank, and the bank was sequestered. And although we had a Greek passport, he was suspended from his job. As we were at home one evening, we had a knock on the door one night, and there were two guys from the Egyptian authorities that came round and asked if Arlette Cohen lived there. So my father said, what do you want from Arlette Cohen? Oh, we will come another time. So of course my father panicked, and he said, well, we have to go, we have to arrange to go. This one lives in Italy. This one lives in the United States. This one lives in Australia. We're all over the world. But now with the internet, which is really miraculous, and Facebook, we can find each other and communicate. I've got wonderful memories of Alexandria. The Nusa Gardens in Egypt. This is the Eliyahu Hanavi synagogue, which was recently renovated in Alexandria. It was a wedding synagogues, as far as I was concerned, because that's where all the big weddings took place. And in fact, I wrote a book of memoirs in poetry. And on the first cover, it is myself and some women of the family in front of the synagogue at a wedding. I can't remember whose wedding it was. All these poems, really, they're the story of my life. And here I wrote one about the Egyptian alphabet. A is Alexandria, the town where I was born. B is the Beau Rivage, under a sky without clouds. C is the Club Nautique, the cutters and the picnics. G are the dates. E is Egypt. F is the King Farouk. G is La Gaîté, the cinema of my neighborhood. H is Hotel Cecil. I is Ibrahimia. This is where I lived.